Does it make sense to rent out your primary residence when you buy a new home? Stay tuned to find out.
All right, we're seeing more and more people want to move up into a new home and keep their primary residence as a rental. These are a lot of first-time landlords, so there's certainly things you need to know before doing that. We're going to talk about 3 of those things today. First and foremost, when you're considering renting out your house, is to look at the financials of your house and the expenses and also the proposed rent that you could get in a normal market. So on the expenses side, we're going to look at your PITI, which is your payment plus your taxes and your insurance. If you have any other expenses, such as maybe your home's located in a homeowner association, any ongoing maintenance that you do for the house, such as landscaping or pest control. And lastly, you want to account for any vacancy rate. So if that house was to go vacant for 1 month out of the year, do you have enough funds to cover that vacancy before filling it with another tenant? So evaluating your income versus your expenses equates to your cash flow. So you want to have that number be a positive number. That way the rent can support all of your monthly expenses.
So once you've determined that your financials make sense, everything pencils out and you're comfortable in that respect, you're going to want to put your house up for rent. And we're going to talk about presentation. So just like we do when we're talking about homes for sale, presentation is important. You don't necessarily need to go overboard with a rental in terms of upgrades and so forth, but you still want to have an attractive looking product, I'll call it, when you put it out there for prospective renters to look at. So you want to attract a good caliber of tenant, and I think it starts with proper presentation of your property. Curb appeal is still very important. If you had any repairs that needed to be addressed, we do suggest doing those before the tenant moves in. Again, tenants have rights. You want to make sure there's no habitability issues. You want to make sure that everything is functioning properly. So all of these things you must account for when it comes to presenting your home when you first put it on the market for rent.
All right, and lastly is the selection of the tenant. So you might want to hire a property management company to do that for you. They have all the tools and the resources to filter and find great tenants. But if you elect to do it yourself, here's a few things you need to consider doing. Number 1 is verifying their income, make sure they can afford the place. Number 2 is a background check, make sure there's no criminal issues or evictions. Number 3 is a credit check. And lastly, number 4 is to verify past rental history.
Yeah, and if you want more in-depth information on how to properly screen a tenant, please click on the link above. You can check out our last week's video, which will give you more information.
You guys, thanks so much for watching this week's episode of our Did You Know show. They come out each and every Tuesday here on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button right down below. If you're on one of our other platforms, thank you so much for watching. Please give us a like, a thumbs up, and be sure to comment below. We'll see you next week.